What it do? Bedtime crew. Hey man, listen, today I am here with my full card predictions for UFC 313. We've got a hell of a card coming this weekend, boys. We've got Alex Pereira. Shoma. We got Big Ank, the GOAT. We've got Big Rufus, Justin Gaethje. We got hair transplant Fiziev. We got Jalen Turner. We got Bobby Green on the card. We got Mauricio Rufy, the GOAT, Curtis Blades. Joshua Van's on the card. And the rest are nobodies. Hey, man, let's get into this, dude. Let's go to the early prelims. Now, before we start, there is an early prelim of Chris Gutierrez versus some dude. I'm going to be picking Chris Gutierrez by decision. Next one we'll talk about, we've got Jordan Santos versus Ozzy Diaz. Couple of 55 overalls going at it in the middleweight division. Ozzy Diaz lost to the certified legend Ming Yang Zhang of the Blockhead fame. Jordan Santos, this guy's coming off the Contender Series. Bit of a KO type of guy. I want to fake hardcore this and pick Ozzy Diaz. I have a weird feeling he's going to win, but I'm going to just trust the basics and say Jordan Santos. I can't overthink it. He's not coming off a brutal KO 3 months ago. He's going to be able to get on the inside and put Ozzy Diaz away with a hook or something like that. I'm going to say Jordan Santos by TKO inside the first 2 rounds. I'm not going to overthink it, dude, but I have a weird feeling Ozzy Diaz is going to craft it up because he's only lost to Smokin' Joe Pyfer and Ming Yang Zhang. So not really bad losses, right? But if you're a little bit chinny and you're older, I think a young guy coming off the Contender Series, they're going to be able to get on the inside and land a hook or something like that. I'm going to say Jordan Santos by TKO, but not as effortless as Ming Yang Zhang or Joe Pyfer. Let's make that clear, all right? Next fight, we've got Myron Santos versus Francis Marshall. This is a pretty interesting fight. Like, Francis Marshall, he's pretty good. He's more of a wrestler. He's pretty well-rounded. Myron Santos has that fluky plot armor type of power. Usually I pick against guys like this. Like, usually I get on the videos and I'm like, dude, this guy got pieced up by this guy in Contender Series. I'm not going to fucking do that anymore, man. I think Myron Santos is going to win this fight, dude. I think Myron Santos, I'm scanning the peripheries right now. I think he has plot armor, dude. I think this young man is going to come out there and maybe lose like the first minute or 2 of the fight, but just stay patient, stay composed, and then catch something nasty on Francis Marshall. Kind of get an early stoppage as well. I think Myron Santos is going to win by KO. But if it goes late into the fight, like we're hitting round 3, round 2, like end of round 2 going into round 3, I think it could lean a little bit more towards Francis Marshall. Maybe a close decision for Myron Santos, because I do think Marshall's pretty good, but I'm going to say he gets a TKO early on in this fight. On the, maybe up against the fence or like on the end of an exchange, like breaks away from something, boom, lands a big shot. That's the end of it. Myron Santos is pretty big. He's pretty powerful. And like I said, for whatever reason, I'm doing Trump hand movements right now. For whatever reason, I'm sensing this kid has plot armor. So we're going to pick Myron Santos by KO. All right. Moving on now, we've got fucking Alex Morono, bro. We have to cut Jairzinho Rozenstruik from the UFC. But Alex Morono, listen, let me tell you about Alex Morono. Let me tell you about this kid. This kid's a superstar. We're going to put him on every fucking pay-per-view we can. What the fuck? Why, bro? Listen, man. Fool me once. The great J. Cole once said, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you're not going to fool me again. I'm never picking Alex Morono to craft his way to a victory over some angry roid monster, bro. Usually, like back in 2023, back in 2022, I'd be on here going, dude, Alex Morono is pretty underrated, man. This guy can definitely beat up a roid monster with a little guillotine and some calf kicks and a jab. In 2025, I'm not picking this fucking guy, dude. I think that he's going to jump around at range, jiggling at range, kind of jumping up and down on the spot. I think that Carlos Leal, obviously, a lot of people thought he got robbed against Rinat Fakhretdinov. He's a big, roided up Brazilian with probably way more power and just a million times more athleticism than Alex Morono. This is like Anthony Smith versus someone athletic type matchmaking. Like, I think the only way for Alex Morono to win is if Carlos Leal fucking slips on a banana peel into a guillotine. I'm jinxing it right now. If Alex Morono catches this guy on a bad takedown and subs him, I could see that happening. Maybe he outpaces him and wins round 3 late in the fight. But I think that Carlos Leal is going to win this fight, dude. I think he's going to be a lot quicker, a lot sharper. I don't think he's very good. I don't think this guy beats many names in the welterweight division. But at this point in Alex Morono's career, you're losing to fucking Nico Price. Do I need to say anything else, bro? You lost to Nico Price clearly by decision. I remember that fight. It was like 2 grandpas fighting that used to be Golden Gloves boxers back in the day. That's what it was. So Alex Morono, I'm not picking this guy. I'm sure he's a massive underdog. Rightfully so. I'm going to say Carlos Leal KOs him. We're going to start off this card with a couple of finishes, in my opinion, all right? Next up on the card, we've got Bruno Ferreira versus Armen Petrosyan. I want to pick Armen Petrosyan. Because he's only losing to really good people. Like Bruno Ferreira, this guy lost to fucking Nursultan Ruziboyev and, you know, Abus Magomedov. I know that he rocked Abus Magomedov and could have finished him in that fight, and then he got submitted late in the fight. That's not really going to happen to Armen Petrosyan, who, he's the same though. Like, he lost to Shara Bullet, and then he lost to Rodolfo Vieira. I'm going to pick Bruno Ferreira, bro. I feel like he's going to catch this guy, and I think he's going to get a K. Yeah, fuck, dude. I don't know, bro. UFC 312 has me, like, second-guessing everything I know about the sport, bro. Fuck, man. I'm not going to overthink this, dude. I'm going to pick fucking... Oh, my God. I'm going to pick Bruno Ferreira. I don't fucking know. This is a 50-50 fight, bro. These guys are both, like... Dude... The thing about middleweights is you can put together a perfectly crafted prediction. You can go, listen, dude, Bruno Ferreira, this guy's got more power. Petrosyan's coming off a KO loss. He's not a wrestler. He's a pure striker. He can beat a guy like Christian Leroy Duncan and stuff like that, but against a guy with real one-hitter-quitter type power and just block-headed aggression, I think he's going to get caught at some point and put away. You can put together a perfectly crafted argument on your thoughts, and then boom, Armen Petrosyan turns into a fucking jiu-jitsu black belt, and he's wrestling Bruno Ferreira, and he subs him. You know what I mean? This sport makes no sense, but I'm just going to pick Bruno Ferreira by KO, all right? Or maybe like a decision. I hate this fucking sport, man. Let's move on, though. I'm super excited for this fight, dude. Joshua Van, Ray Soroya, stepping in on short notice. 2 young guns. I'm literally older than both of these guys. Oh my fucking God. No, bro, I can't be older than these guys. But regardless, man, we got Joshua Van versus Ray Soroya. Striker versus grappler matchup. I think Joshua Van's more experienced. He's more well-rounded. He is more comfortable fighting in the UFC. And he's more prepared for this matchup, in my opinion. He's fought so actively against so many different people and different fighting styles in the UFC. Whereas Ray Soroya, he beat Carlos Hernandez. He looked really good. I picked him to win that fight. And his scrambles, his aura, he's pretty fucking cool. Like, I like Ray Soroya. He's cool. I just think that if you're mainly a grappler, like Joshua Van is good at defending takedowns. And even if he's not, he's so fit and he's in such good shape. And he pushes people back so well, especially once a fight leaves round 1. Like, unless Ray Soroya submits him in round 1, I think Joshua Van is just going to step on the gas more and more and more as the fight goes on. And I think he's going to win round 2 and 3, walking Ray Soroya down, defending takedowns, landing punches when he's got him sprawled down face first into the canvas, disengaging, walking him down, body shots, making him shoot really bad takedowns with his back near the fence or past the black line on the inside of the octagon. I just don't think Ray Soroya is going to be effective on the back foot, and Joshua Van puts everybody that he fights on the back foot. Like, I think to beat him, you have to be big and rangy and be able to stay on the outside and snipe him, or just powerful, like Edgar Shirez gave him a bit of trouble. Obviously, Charles Johnson beat him. I don't think Ray Soroya has the power or the range to kind of do that to Joshua Van. I think he is a little bit more tentative striking and more likely to shoot takedowns quickly and often. And I think that Joshua Van's going to melt him as the fight goes on and win round 2 and 3. I'm going to say Joshua Van wins this by decision. Maybe a round 3 TKO if it's really bad. Like, if Ray Soroya has Tatsuro Taira striking, this guy's fucked. He's going to get TKO'd in round 3. But I'm going to say Ray Soroya is a little bit too calm. He has a little bit too much aura to go out like that. I'm going to say Joshua Van wins a unanimous decision. I think this is going to be a really cool fight, though. I'm looking forward to this, all right? But my main event, Curtis Blades versus Rizvan Kuniev. Rizvan Kuniev, your time has come. There's no way out of this one, buddy. This guy is a fucking circle. He's a fucking blob. He's a roid cheat. He doesn't belong in the UFC. He does not belong fighting a top 5 level fighter. Curtis Blades is top 5 in the heavyweight division. He has been top 5 in the heavyweight division since like 2017, bro. I'm telling you, Curtis Blades is gonna fucking destroy this guy, bro. Curtis Blades is better than this. Where is this guy supposed to beat Curtis Blades? Where is this piece of uncooked chicken that dropped on the floor like, oh, fuck, I dropped that? That's what Kuniev looks like, bro. What is this guy? He looks like a fucking taxi driver from Uzbekistan, bro. What is this guy supposed to do to Curtis Razor Blades, who's got a nasty little jab on him, who's got good calf kicks, who's hard to take down if you're not Jailton Almeida, right? Who's hard to hurt unless you're fucking Sergey Pavlovich, Francis Ngannou, Tom Aspinall. Like, if you're not a one-hitter quitter, championship contending level fighter, I don't think you beat Curtis Blades, bro. I really don't. I think Curtis Blades is going to stuff takedowns off this blob, beat him up, make him gas out, probably make him have a cardiac arrest in the corner, and I think Curtis Blades is going to win by TKO inside 2 rounds. I can see him taking this guy down and just elbowing his face in, bro. Or like reversing a position, ending up on top, just blasting him with elbows, getting a stoppage, similar to what he did against Shamil Abdurakhimov. Real ones remember Curtis Blades at UFC 242 against Shamil Abdurakhimov, and you guys have the nerve to call me a casual when I'm bringing up Curtis Blade prelim fights from 2019. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Curtis Blades by ground and pound TKO. Lock that shit in, bro. I'm worried about my pick. I'm just going to be real. I'm worried about my picks because I've picked A on the exam like 4 times in a row. You know what I'm saying? That's a bad sign in the exam, but I'm confident, bro. Curtis Blades winning that fight. Joshua Van, Bruno Ferreira. I'm really not confident in Bruno Ferreira whatsoever. I think Carlos Leao is a pretty decent pick. Myron Santos, Jordan Santos. I am worried about this fight for no reason, but those are my prelim picks. Let's talk about the main card, okay? Starting things up. This fight's gonna be the fucking shit, dude. You know what I mean? Bro, Patty came out there and subbed me. Straight up, you feel me? We got King Green versus Prime Alter Ego 5-star Conor McGregor, Mauricio Rufy. I'm gonna pick Rufy to win this fight, dude. I feel like Bobby Green is capable of fraud checking people if they're not ready to beat him. And I don't think Rufy is as proven as some people make him out to be. And even by the odds of this fight, like he should not be a 5-1 favorite over Bobby Green when Paddy Pimblett was a fucking underdog. And I was confident. I was willing to bet my kids' college fund, my entire gambling money on Paddy Pimblett over Bobby Green. I was one of the only people saying that. But Mauricio Rufy, I'm not as confident in him to beat Bobby Green. I think purely striking matchup is always going to let Bobby Green have some sort of success. But the problem with Bobby Green, and I've said this since like UFC, since he lost to Jalen Turner, I've said this guy's chin is fucking done for. You got chin by Drew Dober, fair enough. I mean, Dober saw Bobby Green get in the cage, got locked the fuck in, you know. Brutalized by Jalen Turner, like literally life-altering damage from Jalen Turner. Got a win over Grant Dawson. I'm not going to say it was a fluke. I'm just saying, would he do that again? Probably fucking not, right? I think Bobby Green, when you rewatch the Jim Miller fight especially, that really is telling to me. He had really good moments in that fight in round 3. But every time Jim Miller touched his chin, he got rocked and he got hurt, bro. And I think that Mauricio Rufy is a lot quicker. He's a lot sharper. He's not more proven or more well-rounded than Jim Miller, but he is a better striker and a better, like, boxer. He's going to be able to hurt Bobby Green at some point early on. And I think if Mauricio Rufy hurts you with some shit, this is like a perfect Fighting Nerds matchup where it's like a top name in the division that's chinny and wants to just strike with this guy. I don't think Bobby Green's going to shoot a fucking takedown. And I think Mauricio Rufy is going to just be patient and land some nasty shot on Bobby Green when he ducks his head or Bobby Green slips his head back on the end of an exchange, kind of shoulder rolling. Rufy just extends the right hand over the top, drops him bad. And I think if he follows up with anything, a referee is not going to let Bobby Green go out again. Unless it's fucking, I don't know, Mario Yamasaki in there or maybe Herb Dean steps in. You gotta work. You gotta work while Bobby Green's just getting his fucking head bounced off the canvas. Maybe that happens. But if Goddard's there, anyone else is there, I think they're gonna step in pretty quickly if Bobby Green gets dropped by Mauricio Rufy. And I'd be willing to bet that Rufy will catch him with something bad early on, round 1, maybe early round 2. I'm gonna say Mauricio Rufy wins this fight by TKO. But Bobby Green is tricky. Like, he is tricky. He's cool. I think he'll be a little bit elusive early on and definitely better than anyone Rufy's fought. But I just think his chin is cooked. That's the main thing. And he's not going to wrestle. So it's pretty one-dimensional at this point. All right. Let's go Rufy by TKO. Next up, we've got Amanda Lemos versus Yasmin Lucindo. Now, not a lot of... This was a crafty pick by me. I picked Lucindo over Marina Rodriguez back at UFC 307 via Young Prospect Plot Armor. Now, what is Young Prospect Plot Armor? You may be wondering. When there's a young contender coming up against somebody that's like ranked number 5, number 6 in the division, and that person doesn't have the skills to finish that young guy, I think they usually lose that decision every time. Amanda Lemos, I think she's going to win this fight, dude. I'm picking Amanda Lemos by decision. I think that Yasmin Lucindo barely beat Marina Rodriguez, like barely. Lemos got an early stoppage over her. She does have that badge equipped of like being able to fluke an early stoppage over you. She has power. She does have pretty decent submissions. Like, she got pretty easily submitted by Verna Janjidova, but she's losing to the best level of competition in the division. She's not losing to random fucking people, and her wins are also over like ranked contenders. Whereas Yasmin Lucindo, Marina Rodriguez by split decision. Karolina Kowalkiewicz, like split decision, I'm pretty sure. Come on, brother. I'm not picking... When you're 23 as well, I feel like all these women, like contenders, they get to the top 5 or the top 3, and then we find out they don't know how to strike, or they don't know how to fucking defend a takedown, or they don't know that, you know what I mean? There's always something with these young prospects that I'm like, oh, fucking hell, how shallow is this division that you're fighting in a title elimination bout and you don't know how to block a putt? Like Erin Blanchfield, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say, and Yasmin Lucindo has not even looked that impressive compared to somebody like that. I think Lemos is gonna be able to crack her with big shots. I think she can get clinch and hold her against the fence and take her down and just win a boring piss break decision. I'm going to say Lemos wins by decision in this fight. 29-28, maybe a split decision. I mean, it's, you know, it's WMMA. You know, it is what it is, dude. All right. Featured fight of the card, we've got Jalen Turner versus Ignacio Bahamondes. I know Bilal's going to get mad, bro. I'm picking Jalen Turner, bro. I know that I've been hating on Jalen Turner for a little bit. Like, I was glazing him, and then he lost to Dan Hooker, and he lost to Gamrot, and he lost to fucking Moicano. And I started, you know, talking about... I turn into Jalen Turner when I'm around the baddies, you know what I mean? Just non-stop fumbling. I think this is a bit of a step down in competition for him. Ignacio Bahamondes is on a good win streak, but it's no... Like, all the guys Ignacio Bahamondes has beat, like... Who are we talking about? Manuel Torres... Blockhead, aggressive blockhead from Mexico. Christos Yargos. Literally, come on, bro. You know what I mean? Guys like that. I think Jalen Turner fucking KOs all those dudes as well. He beat Uros Medic. He has, like, he was doing very well against Dan Hooker. Arguably beat Mateus Gamrot to some people. Dropped Renato Moicano pretty badly in round 1. And I don't think Ignacio Bahamondes has the grappling over Dan Hooker or Renato Moicano, or really the experience or the toughness of those guys either. Ignacio Bahamondes lost pretty clearly to Ludovic Klein via the grappling and just couldn't get his striking going. And I think that Jalen Turner is way faster than Ignacio Bahamondes. I think he has more natural power in his hands. Like, he's going to be able to hurt Ignacio Bahamondes in the boxing. I think the knees to the body are a big factor too. And I think Jalen Turner is a way better grappler than Bahamondes, dude. Especially in round 1 and round 2. Like, Turner does slow down and kind of lose his heart a little bit in round 2 and 3. But I think early on, he's going to be able to catch Ignacio Bahamondes. I'm going to say Jalen Turner wins this fight by KO. Maybe a submission. Like, I could see a submission for Jalen Turner. I think Jalen Turner is going to win this fight by stoppage inside the first 2 rounds. I think this is going to be a little bit of a bounce back victory for him. I don't think he beats some of the guys ranked above him. I'm not saying he's, oh my god, dude, trust me, Jalen Turner's actually like elite, bro. Trust me, dude. I just think he's better than Ignacio Bahamondes. Like, I think a scarier matchup for him would be like Joel Alvarez. I would even be worried for him against like fucking Fiziev or, you know, guys like that. Like, I think Chase Hooper would be scary for him. There is, like, I'm not saying Jalen Turner beats every single unranked person. I'm just saying he beats all the people Bahamondes beat. And he probably finishes all of them as well. So I'm not super high on, like, oh my God, man, Bahamondes. I think Jalen Turner does everything Bahamondes does, just quicker, little bit more power, and better grappling and better boxing. I think that Bahamondes has really good kicks, but against the equally tall guy, they're not going to be as effective. I'm going to say Jalen Turner wins this fight by KO with the hands, maybe latches up a submission if he drops Bahamondes and can't finish him. Jalen Turner's fucking nasty. He has really good finishing instincts, 100% finish rate. I think he's going to win this fight, all right? Co-main event, we've got Justin Gaethje, Big Rufus, versus Rafael Fiziev. I'm picking Justin Gaethje, bro. I think Gaethje's going to win this by decision. I think this is one that's really easy to overthink, but Gaethje won the first fight. As soon as he started using a fucking jab, and as soon as he started using an uppercut and mixing in takedowns, not even getting them, just mixing them in, I think he beat Rafael Fiziev. Rafael Fiziev is one of these guys. Like, listen, I'm not trying to hate on Rafael Fiziev, bro. I'm not, man. Excuse me. I'm not trying to hate on the guy. But realistically, Rafael Fiziev is one of these guys that people are like, dude, Fiziev by murder, bro. But, like, who has Rafael Fiziev KO'd badly? Who is he doing it to, bro? Rafael Dos Anjos in round 5, man. Whoa, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it's not... He doesn't have this one-hitter-quitter power. He doesn't have the power of Dustin Poirier. I don't think he has the cardio and the pressure and honestly, the fucking power of bulked-up Max Holloway either, bro. Like, Max Holloway's one-hitter-quitter KOing people. I don't think Rafael Fiziev is doing that to Justin Gaethje, bro. Like, back when he's fully prepared to fight him against a less experienced Justin Gaethje coming off a loss also, he couldn't, you know? So I think that Rafael Fiziev will probably win round 1, but Justin Gaethje is more prepared to fight on this date and has already beat this guy and is more well-rounded. Like, he's going to be able to mix in fake takedowns and his jab, his boxing. He was landing really good combinations against Fiziev. Fiziev already has problems with cardio. Now he's coming in on short notice. I think he's in good shape. I don't think he's going to completely empty the tank, but I think it's going to be pretty similar to the first fight where Justin Gaethje lands big combos, even on the guard, mixes up to the body, lands his jab, lands his uppercut, mixes in feint, like level change feints, lands uppercuts. And I just think Gaethje is just more prepared to fight this fight right now than Fiziev is. You know, you're coming off a huge layoff. You're going to be a little bit rusty. Gaethje is also coming off a layoff, but it was like a self-imposed one. It was like bro, all right, man, let me get back in the lab. This is my last chance to win the belt. I need to bounce back. You know, I'm preparing for war. He was preparing for 5 rounds. It got changed to 3 rounds. He's already ready to fight at this pay-per-view. I think Justin Gaethje is going to win pretty similar to the first fight. 29-28 decision. People probably cry robbery about it. That's what I'll say, all right? Main event, Big Ank versus Alex Pereira. I already dropped a full video about this. I'm not going to yap about it again. I just think that Magomed Ankalaev is good enough on the feet to not get KO'd in round 1 or round 2. That's all he has to do. And I think he mixes in level changes well. I don't think he has to wrestle super early on, but I know he will wrestle in this fight. And the people that are like, dude, but he said he wasn't going to wrestle, bro. It's like, okay, man. Watch this. Watch when that calf kick lands, bro. And this dude turns into fucking prime Khabib all of a sudden, man. I think that Magomed Ankalaev, as soon as he chooses to wrestle, he's going to make this fight a lot less competitive. Like, on the feet, I think Ankalaev can land some good straight punches against Pereira. Similar to what Khalil Roundtree was able to land. Similar to Israel Adesanya being able to land those shots. I think that his leg kick defense, it has improved from the Jan Blachowicz fight. And, you know, Alex Pereira fighting a southpaw is not going to be able to cripple the legs as easily as he could against, like, Yuri Prohaska and guys like that he's fought before. And we saw when Jan Blachowicz mixed in takedowns against Alex Pereira, he is very calm and patient on the bottom and wastes a lot of time and stays on the bottom for a long time. So I think that Magomed Ankalaev is going to mix in the wrestling in this fight. He'd be fucking stupid not to. I think he's going to, because it seems like that's what he's been preparing for. So I'm going to say Magomed Ankalaev goes out there, lands some good straight punches, gets cracked a little bit back and forth. It's competitive. Then he mixes in a takedown and kind of wastes the rest of whatever round he does it in, holding down Pereira, landing ground and pound. And I think from that point on, it's just going to be faking the level change, landing straight punches, mixing in the takedowns off boxing exchanges, And I think Ankalaev's going to win a unanimous decision. Like 48-47, one scorecard will be like 49-46. I think Big Ank's gonna win this fight, dude. Like, he is just being completely objective. He's a nightmare matchup for Alex Pereira, dude. Like, Alex Pereira has the chance to KO him in round 1 or round 2, but when I look at a lot of historical, like, striker versus wrestler who can strike matchups, the guy that's more well-rounded, that has more options, usually wins that fight. And it kind of becomes a thing of like, oh yeah, damn, you know what I mean? Like, I think Alex Pereira's gonna have good takedown defense early on, but 5 rounds of wrestling, I just don't think I just don't think he has the cardio to wrestle for 5 rounds the way that Ankalaev has before and has his entire, like, life. He's been wrestling way longer than Alex Pereira. He's obviously a better grappler than Pereira. I don't feel like that needs to be said, but some people will be like, he got submitted by Paul Craig, bro. I wouldn't be so sure. It's like, dude, okay, man. Name the guy that submitted Alex Pereira on the regional scene. I'll wait for you, bro. You pull up Google, man. So I think that Ankalaev's just more well-rounded. I think he's going to be able to do good enough in the boxing, especially with straight punches. And, you know, mixing in southpaw weapons like that rear kick and the left hand down the middle, which were used very effectively against Alex by Khalil, even by Israel Adesanya. Straight punches are really big against Alex Pereira. And with the wrestling threat, every time Unk ducks his head, it's going to be a problem for Alex Pereira. You know, it's going to make him a little bit more tentative on the feet, especially once he gets a takedown. I think it's going to be really different for Pereira versus the other guys that he's beat that people point to of like, oh, but Yuri Prohaska and Jamal Hill and, you know, even Jan Blachowicz. People have the fucking audacity to bring that up as if Alex Pereira did not get controlled for like half of that fight by Jan Blachowicz, who Ankalaev was fucking picking up, double-legging, got a 10-8 round against him in the grappling, you know? So if that's the fight you're pointing to is like, dude, Alex Pereira's good, man. Watch what Unk did to fucking Blachowicz in round 5 of that fight, and imagine if Alex Pereira was in there with him, bro. I just think that in the striking, it's competitive enough to where I'm like, I think Unk can survive round 1 and 2 and use the wrestling threat and mix in takedowns eventually. In the grappling, I think Unk is just better than Pereira. So I'm picking Ankalaev by decision, maybe a ground and pound TKO or a rear naked choke. I think if it's a submission for Ankalaev, that's the submission he'll get, but he's not much of a submission guy, so I wouldn't be picking that. These are my predictions, man. I know that people are going to disagree with some of them, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know if this is going to age like milk, because I feel like I'm on the fucking redemption arc right now, man. I feel like I'm about to come back with my reboot card, but let me know what you think in the comments. You guys enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, go follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Bedtime MMA, and I will see you guys in the next video, man. Goodbye.